Hi everyone and welcome to episode 5 of Xbox 360, a Retrospective. A series where I will be looking back at every physical Xbox 360 game released in the UK from my own almost complete collection. Today we're abandoning guns entirely and we're going to be impersonating Australian rock royalty using fake plastic instruments. Today, my friends, we're looking back at AC/DC Live Rock Band. Let's jump in. For those not around at the time, it's pretty hard to describe just how much Guitar Hero and Rock Band took over the world in the mid to late noughties. Following on from the smash hit success of the original Guitar Hero in 2005 and Guitar Hero 2 in 2006, the original publishers Red Octane were bought by Activision in June 2006, and the developers Harmonix were sold to MTV Games in October of the same year. While Activision would enlist Tony Hawk developers Neversoft to carry on development of the Guitar Hero franchise, Harmonix would evolve the Guitar Hero concept with the launch of Rock Band, a game that not only supported 4-player co-op play, but also introduced the concept of guitar, bass, drums and vocals, a band in the box if you will, which launched in the US in November 2007 before finally debuting in the UK on the 23rd of May 2008 on the Xbox 360. The original Rock Band achieved global sales of over 4 million units and was very quickly followed by Rock Band 2, which launched in the UK on the 19th of October 2008 as a band-in-the-box bundle, with the Solus disc version arriving on the 21st of November 2008. While Rock Band 2 would allow players to import most of their Rock Band 1 songs into the Rock Band 2 playlist, there were 4 songs it didn't port over, as each song had to be re-licensed for the second game. So Enter Sandman by Metallica, Run to the Hills by Iron Maiden, Paranoid by Black Sabbath, and Monsoon by Tokyo Hotel weren't available to be added to the Rock Band 2 playlist. And while there were hundreds of songs available to purchase via download for about 400 Microsoft points each, which is about £1, there was always a clamouring for more songs from regular players looking to expand their playlists and repertoire. And so in December 2008, the first disc-based expansion launched on the Xbox 360, AC/DC Live Rock Band Track Pack. While the game was an expansion pack for Rock Band, and indeed a code to allow players to add the entire setlist of songs into Rock Band 1 or 2, it was also a standalone experience. You didn't need to own either Rock Band game to play it. For example, people who own Guitar Hero, their guitar controllers would work absolutely fine with Rock Band, and indeed AC/DC Live, even though Rock Band guitars wouldn't work with Guitar Hero at the time. It was the first band-specific Guitar Hero or Rock Band title, and it even has its own set of achievements to earn, although admittedly only 250 of them. For those about to rock, we salute you. For those wanting to know more, let's go over the key facts. AC/DC Live Rock Band, but known as AC/DC Live Rock Band Track Pack in the US, was developed by Harmonix. As well as their work on the original Guitar Hero and Rock Band, Harmonix had a lot of history with music games. They developed the exceptional Frequency and its equally exceptional sequel Amplitude on the PS2, as well as the Karaoke Revolution series. The game was published by MTV Games, who actually published every Rock Band game up until the 3rd installment in 2010. The game is a rhythm-based game, using plastic instrument replicas to simulate playing guitar, bass, drums and vocals. The game was released in the UK on the 19th of December 2008, around 6 weeks after the title launched in the US in early November. AC/DC Live Rock Band launched on the Xbox 360, PS2, PS3 and Nintendo Wii. At launch, the game drew a Metacritic of 63, a substantial drop compared to the 92 the original Rock Band game scored. As for backwards compatibility, the game was never made back compatible for Xbox One or Series X, almost certainly due to arrangement around relicensing the music. The track pack was never released digitally as DLC, either as a whole or as individual songs, and the songs remain exclusive to the disc, with Harmonix citing AC/DC's preference to sell their music as full albums instead of singles. Multiplayer-wise, the game never supported online play. While it is still multiplayer locally if you've got all the instruments, there was no online play support at all. So now I've shook you all night long with those key facts, let's discuss the game, shall we? Right from the off, I'm going to be honest. I'm not sure if it's my incredibly old Guitar Hero 2 Gibson controller, I'm not sure if it's because I'm using a Guitar Hero guitar on a Rock Band game. I'm not sure if it's a calibration issue, but despite my prowess at Guitar Hero, and more recently Clone Hero on my Twitch streams, but Rock Band I found a bloody nightmare to play. I'm used to playing these games on Expert, I'm used to Hyperspeed, but for some reason I really struggled to get through even Thunderstruck on Expert. The hitbox windows for the notes on Rock Band feel so much more tight and strict than Guitar Hero's. And even though some of the charts are definitely easier on paper on Rock Band, it felt really strict coming back to this game after probably 12 or 13 years of not playing it. But that's a me issue, I guess. Despite this, I struggled on, playing through as many of the 18 on-disc songs as I could muster. The core gameplay itself is very much Rock Band 1. Hit the corresponding colour fret with the strum bar at the line. It's as simple as it comes. Although I probably don't need to tell you that the hand-eye coordination needed to play these games on higher difficulties is something that does take a lot of practice. There's a few standout tracks in the game if you're into AC/DC. Thunderstruck, Back in Black, You Shook Me All Night Long being the main three for me. All of the versions in the game are live versions rather than the studio tracks. You can play them all in free play from the off, or you can go through the tour mode, which makes you play them in a set order. The game came with a code on the back of the manual to allow you to import the songs from AC/DC into your main Rock Band library, which was very welcome and, may I even say, vital. And that's because there is a metric fuck ton of content missing here from the original Rock Band. Gone is the content creator, gone is the band editor, the custom setlist, the career mode, the challenges, the customization, the unlockables, the reward, the online play. It is so stripped back and bare bone that it's really quite shocking. The only customizable element you get is picking your character's name. They then appear as a completely random avatar which you have no control over. There's no rewards for finishing the songs on the tour mode. There's no outfits to buy or any kind of customization whatsoever. It's literally as bare bones a package as I can ever remember seeing. Hell ain't a bad place to be, apparently, but this entire package thunderstruck me right in the face for being as empty as it is. I mentioned before about AC/DC and their preference to sell music in physical packages rather than digital singles. The fact this package never got released digitally seems to me that the band was very much the driving force in the decision to make this a standalone game rather than Harmonix or MTV Games. If you're a die-hard AC/DC fan that simply has to have these songs, I guess it's worth it. For everyone else, even AC/DC fans looking for a competent game, it's an absolute bloody travesty. Sure, the gameplay is fine, but the amount of things missing is absolutely criminal. The band and devs literally seemingly made no effort whatsoever on this release, so bollocks to me giving it the time of day to do a massive deep dive. There's a song on the playlist called Dirty Deeds Done Cheap, and that song alone probably sums up this package perfectly, though there's also songs called Money Talks and Highway to Hell, which could also be applied to it too. Seriously, I'm a massive fan of Guitar Hero and Rock Band. I loved them back in the day, and I regularly play Clone Hero over on Twitch. And I quite like AC/DC too. But honestly, had I paid 40 quid back in the day for this, I'd have been absolutely fucking livid at how poor the offering is. As I said earlier, there are achievements in the game, 250 points worth. All run-of-the-mill things you'd expect in this sort of cash-in. One achievement is for playing the entire song library in one session, which takes a couple of hours, not that I could be bothered to do it. Other achievements are more aimed at the higher skill players, hitting 100% of the solo notes on an expert, which I did on You Shook Me All Night Long. 5-starring all the songs, as well as song-specific achievements for getting 5 stars. So, yeah, an achievement list about as inspiring as the package itself. Value-wise, it's not especially expensive. Recent eBay sales are clocking between 5 and 10 quid, including postage for complete copies. Much of the value for this game was in the manual, as each manual had a bespoke import code printed onto it to allow you to import these songs into Rock Band 1 or 2. Though since the sunsetting of the 360 store and the lack of back compatibility of Rock Band on newer Xbox consoles, I'll be honest, I've got no idea if this import feature still works. CEX in the UK usually have this priced around a £5 or so. Many of the Guitar Hero and Rock Band games are around the same price, so even though this was the only way to play these songs, it hasn't exactly driven up the value. Not a whole lot of rosy, I'm afraid. Would I recommend it? Absolutely not. I always had a slight preference for Guitar Hero over Rock Band, and not just the actual guitar, but the actual gameplay. But what Rock Band always got right in terms of customization, progression, and overall presentation All of that is missing here. It's a stripped back, diluted, watered down version of Rock Band. 18 songs from the same band with no master recordings and absolutely no sense whatsoever that you're supposed to be playing as AC/DC. It's made even worse when you consider things like the Beatles Rock Band or Green Day Rock Band and what those games brought to the table in terms of immersing you in the history of those bands. This is a pale imitation. It's not worth your time, effort or money. So there you go. AC/DC Live Rock Band is another game to chalk off the list. Let me know in the comments what you think about the game. Are you a diehard AC/DC fan clamouring to tell me I have it wrong? Have you had any luck importing this into your Rock Band library since the store closure? I want to know. Thanks again for watching. I really appreciate you dropping the video a quick like, and if the Xbox 360 is your jam, subscribe to the channel for more and more retrospective videos and Xbox 360 content. As always, if there's a specific game you would like me to jump into, please let me know in the comments what it is and why you want to see it. Until next time, be awesome to each other, and I unconditionally love your hecking faces.